for our business session. Officially audio recorded and times shown on the agenda are estimates only. This virtual meeting is being held under Governor Inslee's COVID-19 Notice of Proclamation 2028, and there will be no live public comment period. This virtual meeting, but our community members are welcome to comment on any item or concern via a letter addressed to the commissioners at 834 Sheridan Street, Port Townsend, Washington 98368, or via email to commissioners@jeffersonhealthcare.org. All commissioners are present with the exception of Commissioner Koff, who is excused as he is taking a well-deserved short vacation. I now call for a move to approve today's agenda.
So move.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Our governance education portion is a report on the Community Health Improvement Program. John Nowak, our CHIP director, is retiring after more than 40 years of service to our community and to Jefferson Healthcare. John is a registered nurse who worked in various settings here for a number of years and then transitioned into information technology just in time for the Y2K, or the Millennium Bug, a computer flaw that may have caused havoc with systems if it weren't for diligent IT people like John, who worked to ensure that Jefferson Healthcare would be up and running on January 1st, 2000. Thanks to John, we were and we still are. John also led our Lean Continuous Improvement Program before becoming a director of the Community Health Improvement Plan, which is a collaborative effort with the hospital district and the Public Health Department to identify, prioritize, and address our community's health issues. John could not be here today to present this, but let it be known how much we appreciate him and his efforts and all that he has done for the people of Jefferson County and for Jefferson Healthcare. Thank you, John. We hope your retirement will bring you long-lived pleasure. And we hope that you will not miss us as much as we will miss you. So thank you. So we have had John's report, and have you all had time to look at it?
Yes.
Okay, so I welcome questions, comments on the report. What do you think? Who wants to go first? Matt, I think you were one who is pretty interested in this, as we all are, but you have really interest in it. Do you have any comments on it? Okay, great. That's a good question. It looks like there are plans in the future well underway. So I'm assuming that we'll be getting reports now and again on the process. So we will keep us informed. Thank you, Matt. Bruce, what do you think?
Well, again, I enjoyed seeing the report because it's been a while since we had an update. And like just about everything else, it's clear to see that, COVID had a big impact on some of the things they're able to do because they weren't able to have their regular meetings and things like they normally would have. And so, like Matt said, there's a lot of things where, they're still looking for or waiting for data, to finalize plans for moving ahead. But it's hard when you can't have meetings in person. So I understand, a lot of why they are where they are right now. But again, I would echo what Matt says. That it's important that we continue and move ahead as well as we can and support them however we can.
Great. Thanks, Bruce. Mari?
Yes, well, I reiterate both what Matt and Bruce have said, and I think the CHIP has been a great asset to our community, focusing on public health issues. Although public health is not totally our purview, it is very important to the health and well-being of our entire community. And I think likewise, however CHIP continues and whatever we can do to support that program that we've done in the past would certainly have my vote. It is so essential to have a robust, as we can see because of coronavirus, a robust public health system, which I think we should support as much as we can with other agencies too. I think two gentlemen have said exactly the right thing, because that's what we need: robust public health and continuing with the hospital-based system in primary care to work together and get things done.
Thank you, Mari. I agree with everybody, and I think the collaborative effort between the two organizations is well worth it too. That's where we dovetail so much, and we have to continue that. Mike's done an incredible job keeping that all together. Mike, do you have any comments on it that you'd like to bring forth?
Well, if it feels like the CHIP program is in transition right now, it's because it's in significant transition. Not only John's position, but Vicky's position over at public health, which is in the Apple is in the place of, or in the process of, replacing Vicky, and I believe they are going to spend some time thinking about best future path for leadership. And we are a very engaged and interested party in that discussion. I stand like all of you, where CHIP is important. The hospital is gonna be there and be a big player, and we look forward to participating in that discussion.
Great. Good. Well, okay, if there's, are there any other comments that anybody would like to make or questions? Well, then at this time, we could go right ahead into our second portion of the governance education, which is a pharmaceutical update by Nell Allen, our pharmaceutical technician specialist. Nell, welcome.
Yeah. Jill, maybe before Nell starts, I will give a little introduction to that. I am constantly amazed at all of the incredible work that's going on here at Jefferson Healthcare throughout the entire organization. The most of it, I'm aware of. But some of the great work I'm not as aware of as I should be, and I think this is a great example of that. A couple of weeks ago, when we were out at Port Ludlow celebrating our 10th anniversary, Nell, who has been with Port Ludlow Pharmacy from the beginning, and is, if you ask any resident of Port Ludlow, will say is kind of the heart and soul of the pharmacy. Was at the anniversary, and I started talking with her, and she reminded me of this program that she started a couple of years ago, basically just to help a patient or two who really had found themselves in a bad place with requiring an expensive drug that there were no conventional programs to help that person. And I was vaguely familiar with that, but I had no idea of the scope and the scale that this program had grown to and the number of people we were able to help. So I encouraged Nell to think about presenting to the board, because I think this is just precisely the type of work that is going on in the organization that you need to know about. And also, it's a great feather in the cap of Nell and her team, because it's making a huge difference in the lives of many patients out there. So I'm happy to turn the presentation over to Nell Allen. So Nell, do your thing.
Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate that a lot. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is great. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Nell Allen. I'm the pharmacy technician specialist out at our Port Ludlow retail pharmacy. I'm gonna talk a little bit about our programs out there, but I just wanted to throw in our Getting to Yes as my title was sort of, I should say, gifted to me from Janelle Harper in oncology when I worked at the clinic there for her. It's more of a philosophy than just a title, and I think I've tried to take that with me when I went out to Port Ludlow to do a lot of our specialty prescriptions and things, which also involves oncology. Slide, please. So just so everybody knows, these are the main things that we do out at Port Ludlow. We have specialty, our outpatient retail, which is basically everything else, and then hospice. I'm not going to talk a lot about hospice today because hospice is kind of a closed system. It's kind of its own thing. Most of the assistance and programs that this is about really apply more to specialty and outpatient. Slide, please. So what I really want to share is, the current programs we have, who the people are and the different medicines that we cover, how we kind of came to this need, to realize we had a need, what we ended up having to pull together, and how and why they work. Next slide. So currently what we have, and I'll explain more of these as we go along, but currently what we have is our copay assistance for people that have insurance, private grants, which can be, usually is for people that have insurance as well, but that's separate and outside of the hospital. And then uncompensated care, we don't do a whole lot of, but that's more just if somebody is